I'm Shimpli Patino's head nutritionist and lifestyle expert, and I head the training department as well. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to be talking about testosterone in detail. What is it? Why is it needed? What could affect it? What could boost it? I've been handling quite a few patients dealing with low T levels and its impact on them, especially the youth. So I thought of covering it in detail today. You may already know quite a few things, but you have to put things together in the right way, understand the science behind it so that it works for you in the right way. Yeah, so let's begin. What is testosterone? We all know it is the most important male sex hormone, right? It is an important hormone for women as well, in small quantities though. But of course, men produce more testosterone than females. Okay, it belongs to a group of hormones called androgens. Okay, and what produces testosterone? It is produced by the gonads. So for males, it is by the Leydig cells in testes, and in females, it is by the ovaries, and small quantities are also produced by the adrenal glands in both the sexes. Yeah, and what makes our body produce testosterone? So it starts with your brain. Okay, hypothalamus and your pituitary gland, they control how much testosterone the gonads produce and secrete. Okay, so the hypothalamus sends a signal to your pituitary gland to release a hormone called luteinizing hormone. This hormone goes and stimulates the testosterone production. And if too much of testosterone is produced, then the hypothalamus alerts the pituitary gland to make less luteinizing hormone, which then tells your testes to decrease the testosterone level. So this is how your body naturally regulates the T levels using its intelligence. Yeah. And what does testosterone do in the body? Of course, we know about its function in fertility, in regulating the sex drive, boosting the sperm count, promoting great sexual health. Apart from that, it also increases the growth hormone levels in the body. Okay, and that's why it plays an important role in hair growth, building muscle mass. It determines the muscle size and the strength and fat distribution in the body and ensures a good physique. It plays a role in brain health. It plays a role in cognitive functions, RBC production in the body. It is also known to increase the bone density. Okay, so you would find that men with very low T levels are more likely to suffer from osteoporosis and bone fractures in the long run. And that's why maintaining the right T levels is extremely important. Okay, low levels could result in decrease in sex drive in men. It could diminish the muscle mass. It could cause infertility issues because it drops the sperm count and sperm motility as well. Okay, there's loss of body hair. And in females, abnormally low levels of testosterone could cause sluggishness, lethargy, muscle weakness. It could reduce the sex drive in females too. It could result in decreased sexual satisfaction, irregular menstrual cycle, vaginal dryness, and so on. So typically, our body does a brilliant job of regulating the hormones and keeping the levels of testosterone very. But there could be a few things that may interfere with this process by causing an imbalance of the hormones. And it is natural for the testosterone levels to decline as the person ages. Okay, but there could be reasons why this could happen at a rapid level, and there are ways to slow down that rapid decline as well. Normal aging sees testosterone decline of 1 to 2% per year. That's actually very less, but some factors could accelerate this process. Okay, so number one is obesity. There are several studies that show obese males between the ages 14 to 20 have up to 50% less testosterone than those who are not overweight. So imagine what could happen by the time they start aging, right? Then imbalanced diet, fat diet, okay, overeating, yo-yo dieting, all of these things could disrupt your hormone levels big time, including the testosterone levels. So diet loaded with processed foods and refined sugar, refined carbs, a lot of trans fats, preservatives, all of it has a huge impact on your T levels. Thirdly, sleep. Well, that's the starting point of everything. There are so many studies that show how lack of good quality sleep can result in a steep decline of testosterone levels. Even 1 week of restricted sleep can reduce your daytime testosterone levels by up to 15%. Okay, and we've seen these issues particularly in people who have shift work schedules where they work at night and their circadian rhythm gets all flipped around. And typically, testosterone levels peak at about 4 a.m. when you're actually sleeping. So that's all tied to your body's rhythm. Okay, so definitely a good quality sleep at the right time is a must when we are looking at fitness. Okay, I'll repeat what I said as my last sentence. I said even high stress levels, high cortisol levels can have a negative impact on your testosterone levels because cortisol and testosterone they work in a seesaw manner. So as one goes up, the other comes down. Okay, and also high cortisol it tells your body to store more fat. So there are body fat imbalances, and this could also drop your T levels further. Okay, over and about that, alcohol, smoking, drugs, all of it can have a huge impact on your T levels. Okay, it takes only 5 days of regular drinking for your testosterone levels to drop. And there are studies which show, heavy drinkers can have shrunken testes, they have thin chest, low muscle mass, poor bone mass, and high levels of female hormone that's estrogen due to the imbalances. So even some medications, actually, even some medications like statins, for example, which are used to lower cholesterol levels, they actually operate by reducing testosterone levels in the body. That's why we don't recommend being on statins for a long term. Okay, then things like using BPA products, bisphenol A, it's a chemical found in plastics, cans, food packaging. So it can mess up with your hormone making systems as well within 6 months of continuous usage. So be careful of these things too. And apart from that, many people have been asking me about dairy intake, whether dairy consumption reduces testosterone too. Well, the problem is not with the dairy by itself, okay? It's the quality of milk that we get. Because cattle these days are injected with growth hormones to increase the production. They are injected with antibiotics to prevent infections. And this messes up with our hormonal harmony completely when we consume it. So that definitely takes a toll on the T levels too. So dairy by itself is not a problem as long as it's A2 organic dairy. We always recommend A2 organic dairy. Then coffee drinkers. I've been getting a lot of queries from the coffee drinkers as well. And in my last session, we spoke about how excess caffeine can cause adrenal fatigue. It could churn out your adrenal glands and it causes it to produce more and more cortisol and it reduces the testosterone levels. So going high on coffee, definitely not recommended. Then things like spearmint, peppermint, even licorice, people have been asking about that as well. Well, these things have shown to reduce the T levels mostly in females. That's why we use licorice for PCOD cases, okay, where we see high levels of testosterone, low levels of estrogen and stuff. But there are no studies showing its effect on males as such, okay, but it's better to avoid the long term consumption of these things in males and be careful with soy as well because soy contains phytoestrogens which mimic estrogen in the body and that could disrupt your testosterone levels too. So just be careful of these things. Okay. Now coming to the main point of discussion, how can we boost the T levels? Okay, of course, working on and fixing all the factors that we just discussed would play a massive role in boosting the levels. Fixing your sleep, handling your stress better, working on your body weight, eating right, or even drinking right, choosing the right quality of food. All of these factors matter a lot. Okay, and apart from that, we can also look at a few things, adding a few things to make your T levels better. So having a balanced diet, right quality nutrition, all of that is important. But I would like to highlight three important nutrients here when it comes to boosting the T levels. Okay, one of them is magnesium, second is zinc, and third is vitamin D. Okay, there is a direct correlation between hypogonadism and zinc, magnesium, and D3 levels. Hypogonadism is nothing but testosterone deficiency due to inability of testicles to produce testosterone, or it could also involve issues with your pituitary gland and your hypothalamus functioning. And correcting these nutrient deficiencies have shown to improve the T levels massively. Okay, so you can choose to use the natural sources of zinc and magnesium. D3 is mostly supplemented because there are barely any natural D-rich sources apart from sunlight. Okay, the natural zinc sources would include pumpkin seeds, peanuts, dark green leafy vegetables, chickpeas, almonds. Okay, there's meat and shellfish as well, but we go easy on that as on a case-to-case basis. Okay, magnesium, we have raw cacao that we discussed in my last session, how raw cacao is one of the most richest sources of magnesium. We have almonds, hazelnuts, figs, avocados, green leafy vegetables. These are some great ways to infuse magnesium in your diet. We can look at exploring zinc and magnesium supplements as well, but it has to be done under the guidance of your health practitioner. Never start them on your own. Okay, always do it under supervision. And we look at about 30 to 50 mg of zinc supplementation, 400 mg of magnesium, and 60K dosage of D3. Okay, but the frequency and the duration would depend on your levels. So never start them on your own. Always check, get your levels checked before you start off with the supplements under the guidance of your health practitioner. We have used supplements for many cases with low T levels, and we have seen the levels beautifully coming back in range within like 3 to 6 months. Of course, we look at other factors too, like it has to be a holistic approach. If your sleep is out of whack and stress is all over the place and you're pumping yourself with these vitamins, it's not going to work that way. It has to be, it will always works synergistically with all the other lifestyle factors too. Okay, so it can't be like you're pumping yourself with zinc and magnesium and you don't see a boost in your T levels because you've not fixed the other factors. So it has to be a complete approach towards it. Okay. Secondly, I would like to talk about DHEA. Okay, it's dehydroepiandrosterone. It is a hormone which acts as a precursor to testosterone, and your adrenal glands produce most of your DHEA. Okay, small amounts are also produced in testes in men and ovaries in women, and in the brains of both the sexes. And what leads to DHEA production? So your body uses cholesterol to produce a hormone called pregnenolone. Okay, pregnenolone is then converted to DHEA, and DHEA gives rise to testosterone. Right? I'll repeat. Your body uses cholesterol to produce a hormone called pregnenolone. Pregnenolone is converted to DHEA, and DHEA gives rise to testosterone. Look at the connection. So we see how cholesterol is so important in maintaining your T levels, and going fat free is definitely going to cause low DHA and thereby low T levels too. So this explains why statins could cause a reduction in T levels, because statins suppress your cholesterol levels, right? We must look at balancing our lipids naturally. Of course, if the good and bad cholesterol levels are way too haywire, then your doctors may put you on statins, but you must run a natural protocol alongside to get your lipids under control so that you can wean off the statins gradually. Okay, but remember this has to be done under supervision. Okay, there are no food sources of DHA as such. While the yams do contain a similar substance to a substance that is similar to DHA, and it is used to make DHA in the labs, but we cannot really consider wild yam as a DHA rich source. Okay, body has to make it naturally from within, and we have to supply our body with what it needs so that it can produce the testosterone or DHA optimally. And all that it needs is the good fats. Okay, so cold pressed virgin coconut oil, pure A2 ghee, flax seeds, sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, nuts, avocados, fatty fish. All of these are good fat sources, and they give your body the raw material that it needs to produce the DHA and thereby the testosterone. So make sure you include these good fats in your diet on a regular basis in moderation and not go completely fat free and not overdo it as well. Okay. Next, I would like to talk about is the workouts. Okay. So if you're overweight, obese, then obviously exercise can improve your testosterone levels just by helping you shed pounds and knocking off the excess fat. And like I said earlier, testosterone builds your muscle. Okay. And as your muscle mass increases, it triggers your body to produce more and more testosterone. So all types of exercises count. Okay, endurance training, weight training with weights or using your own body weight, both can boost your testosterone levels. But yes, lifting weight has a bigger effect on testosterone comparatively. Cardio has its own benefits, but it doesn't boost your testosterone like the strength training can. Okay, even high intensity interval training, HIIT, it can effectively increase your T levels too. And Tabata is the best example of HIIT, where you have periods of intense workout and short breaks in between, like 20 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 10 seconds. So that works beautifully too. Be careful not to over workout, okay, because too much exercise can take your T levels in other direction. There are people who work out in the gyms for 2 hours, 3 hours, and there are athletes who overtrain, and they can see a drop in their T levels, which is a sign that they are harming their bodies, right? They tend to have low testosterone levels and high cortisol, which we know can further decline the testosterone levels, right? So when it comes to exercise, less is more. Luke always says less is more when it comes to exercise. It's not that overworking out will give you better results. In fact, overworking out would mean you're actually giving more stress to your body. So your body starts producing more cortisol rather than releasing endorphins, the feel good hormones, right? So it has to be a short and an effective workout. Okay, and we also need to ensure we give our body enough time to rest between the workouts. Okay, we have to plan our pre and post workout meals really well so that it can help your body recover well after the workouts. And for those who are already into workouts, three tricks which will give you an even bigger boost in the testosterone levels from your strength training would be one, engage more muscles. Okay, for example, a full body workout affects this hormone more than engaging just one or two muscles in a session. So just don't do bicep curls or just don't do a few muscles. Engage in a full body workout so all your muscles are engaged. Okay, lift heavier weights than doing many reps of light weights. So this actually depends on your fitness goal. Okay, if you're looking at boosting your endurance and stamina, then you do light weights and more reps. Okay, but if you want to build your muscle mass and boost your T levels, then you lift heavy and keep the reps low. Okay, all of it needs to be done under supervision though. So you just need to take a call depending on your fitness goals. I would repeat, endurance, stamina, you have to do lighter weights and more reps. For building your muscles and T levels, you have to lift heavy and keep the reps low. Okay, then have shorter rest periods during workout. Okay, you should have the rest periods between workout, but keep them short. Just like in HIIT, we do 20 seconds of exercise, 10-second break, 20 seconds, 10 seconds. So don't have longer rest periods, have shorter rest periods, but do have them. Okay, so all of this works. Okay, and over and about that, we still need to ensure we strike a right balance between the cardio and flexibility training and the strength training. So you're helping your overall health. Okay, just because you have to boost your T levels, you shouldn't be doing only weights. It has to be a balance of both. Okay, moving on. Now I want to talk about two herbs that have shown an amazing increase in the T levels in males in my practice. One is ashwagandha. I'm sure most of y'all must be already using it for several benefits. It is an adaptogen, meaning it helps your body adapt to stress or handle your stress and anxiety. Okay, it plays a role in overall hormonal balance. So the levels that are abnormally low, ashwagandha boosts those levels, and the levels that are abnormally high, ashwagandha down regulates them. So it has that sense, okay, of regulating the hormonal balance in the body. Particularly for testosterone, we've seen brilliant results with ashwagandha, and there are so many studies that talk about how ashwagandha effectively boosts up the T levels in healthy men as well as in infertile men with an increase in sperm count and motility and quality. And it seems likely that ashwagandha, being an adaptogen, it lowers the stress hormone cortisol, right? And that could contribute to testosterone boosting effect. Like I said, it works in a seesaw manner. As cortisol decreases, your testosterone increases. So that's how ashwagandha works. That's one of the mechanisms that I thought of. And so if you want to include ashwagandha in your diet or in your routine, you may look at using pure ashwagandha powder. Okay, start with half a teaspoon and slowly take it up to 1 teaspoon. You can take it at night because it calms your mind and relieves stress and regulates sleep and wake cycles. But remember, it's got a dual effect. It energizes you too. So some people end up being energetic at night, and that could disrupt your sleep unless you use that energy. So you can consider taking it in the morning in that case if you have a busy day lined up and need to stay calm and energetic through the day. So it depends on how it works for you, basically. For me, it works at night. So you can take a call on how it works for you. For now, females may wonder if having ashwagandha would increase their testosterone too. So remember, ashwagandha acts on the endocrine system by encouraging hormonal balance. So it will just help you fix your imbalances. It wouldn't really, boost the testosterone unnecessarily if your body doesn't need it. So it has that intelligence of balancing it out naturally. Okay, the second herb that I want to talk about is shilajit. Okay, it has been used in traditional Indian Ayurvedic medicine for centuries, and it carries certain magical compounds which are beneficial for many conditions. It is a thick tar-like substance that exudes from the rocky layers of high mountain ranges, and it is packed with a bioactive compound called fulvic acid. Okay, this fulvic acid is known to increase the testosterone as well as the DHEA levels in the body. Okay, there have been studies done on infertile men and healthy men both, which show that a continuous supplementation of shilajit for about 2 to 3 months increases the testosterone levels by 20-23%. So it's quite promising in this regard. Okay, but make it a point to consult your health practitioner before you start with shilajit.
People with low BP issues or those who are on BP medications, be careful because it can lower the blood pressure further. And people with active heart disease or with a history of hypotension, please avoid taking Shilajit. Okay, so it has to be done under supervision, and also be careful with the quality of this herb. Okay, a low quality Shilajit may be tainted with heavy metals, free radicals, even arsenic in some cases. So be watchful of that. And always choose a grade A Shilajit, okay? And mostly go for the powdered form rather than the capsules or the raisin that we get. But whatever you pick, make sure the fulvic acid content is more than 50%, okay? And stick with the standard dosage of 100 mg per day, and always use it under supervision. Yeah. So yeah, that's about it. Apart from these herbs, even food ingredients like ginger, chilies, cayenne pepper, fenugreek, eggs, all of these also contribute to boosting your T levels. So do include them in your daily diet. That's going to be super beneficial too. So that's about it, Tina, and everyone.
Thanks, Shimpli. Let's open it up for questions then. We have a couple that are already there if you want to take that up.
Okay. One. Please share normal range for females. Gain muscle mass. Okay, now for females, it is between 15 to 17.
Shimpli, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I think I should be holding my mic this way throughout. Okay. So for females, it should be between 15 to 70 nanograms per deciliter, and for males, it should be between 300 to 1000 nanograms deciliter. So levels which are below 300 for males are considered as low T levels. So you can look at that. Next is normal range for cholesterol and healthy DHEA range. Now, cholesterol again depends on which lab you're getting it done from. Okay, so you can probably check the normal range that is given in that in your report and take a call accordingly. Does ashwagandha help? Yes, it does. I just spoke about it. Do you recommend ashwagandha for PCOD as well? Yes, we do, because ashwagandha helps you with hormonal balance. So definitely recommend it for PCOD as well. Do not use both the herbs like shilajit and ashwagandha, because you wouldn't know what is actually working for you. So do one herb at a time, please. Is it good to have ashwagandha every day? Yes, you can have it every day, but it's always good to give a break to your body. Like I usually do a continuous course of 3 weeks, and then I give a break to my body. So you can probably give it in breaks, take it in breaks. Sorry. Ways to include shilajit in the daily diet and when to consume. So like I said, you can go for the powdered form. Okay, start off with 1/4 teaspoon and then increase it gradually. When to consume, I would suggest consume it at night. Okay, because it also calms your system, so you can have it at night, which can also ensure better sleep. Ashwagandha dosage for Hashimoto's. Okay, now if you're on thyroid medications, I would suggest either you avoid ashwagandha or you keep a gap of minimum 4 hours between your thyroid medication and ashwagandha. Don't take it too back to back, because ashwagandha could interfere with your thyroid medication. So just take care of that, please. Dosage remains the same. You start off with half teaspoon and slowly take it up to 1 teaspoon. Do you recommend ashwagandha for hypertension, diabetic? Yes, we do. Now, ashwagandha could also, lower your blood sugar levels. It actually balances your blood sugar levels. So if you have a tendency of going into hypoglycemia, then just be careful with that. Okay, if you're and don't really have your ashwagandha and your diabetic medications back to back. Keep a space there as well. Okay. Ways to include any tips to improve sexual drive. Okay, so obviously one is using natural aphrodisiacs. Okay, onions and a mix of honey and garlic, uh, and of course there are several other ways too. So you can probably take an expert opinion on this. um, Having proper diet and working out, still showing low testosterone, so you could probably look at fixing your nutrient deficiencies in that case. Look at the other lifestyle factors too, your sleep, your stress levels, everything, because it has to be a holistic approach. uh, After 3 weeks, how long you have to stop ashwagandha and restart? Okay, so you can do a 3 week start and stop method, which means you take it for 3 weeks, take a break for 3 weeks. Again, you start for 3 weeks, take a break for 3 weeks. So you can do a start and stop method that way. Yeah. What's next? Is ashwagandha advisable for children and from what age? Okay, so I would suggest you can start ashwagandha from 14 years of age. It again depends on for what purpose are you using ashwagandha. So it is a great immunity booster and an energy booster as well. So if your kid has a low energy level or a low immunity, then you can consider starting it after the age of 14. Ways to include shilajit in the daily diet. I think I covered that. Dosage regimen for men with low T. I'm not sure what are you asking about, if it's for ashwagandha or shilajit. I covered both anyway. Ashwagandha can be taken with milk or water, both. You can do you can do it either with milk or with water, but make sure if you're using milk, it has to be A2 organic milk always. Yeah, I think I've covered all of them, Tina. Ma'am, I have heard that too much engage in sexual activity or masturbation leads to reduction in T levels. No, that's a myth. That's a myth completely.
Okay, thanks so much, Shimpli.
Thank
I
you.
think we have enough time to do a quick wrap up and then we
Sure.
can close.
So, of course, looking at the vital nutrients that I discussed, zinc, magnesium, D3 levels, fix them if you're deficient. Looking at your DHA levels by including good fats and balancing your cholesterol levels. Working out the right way, okay, striking the right balance between cardio and strengthening exercises, considering herbs like ashwagandha, shilajit, and certain foods like ginger, cayenne pepper, chilies, fenugreek, whole beans, eggs. So you can consider all of these things. And over and about that, fixing your sleep, your stress levels, your body weight, eating right, and drinking right as well. So all of this counts. That's about it.
Right. Thanks so much, Shimpli. I think that was a great session.
Thank
For
you.
all those who still have questions, you could reach out to Shimpli on her Instagram page. I've shared the handle on the chat group, so you can pick it up from there. Otherwise, it's simply_Shimpli. That's right, right, Shimpli?
Yes, that's right. Thank you so much, Tina. And thank you everyone for joining.
All right. Have a great day, everyone.
Have a great evening. Thank you.